Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Trace, Tame It, and I hope that your day or night, whatever time you're watching this video, is going great. Thanks so much for tuning in with me. It's a pleasure to have you here. And if perhaps you're new to the channel, do not forget to click the subscribe button so you don't miss none of the videos that I post. In today's video, we have about 9 days before President-elect Donald Trump is welcomed back into the White House. And I gotta say this, there's gonna be a lot of things that are gonna be changed. You know, President-elect Donald Trump mentioned numerous of times on things that he would change on day one, because he's seen what the people have been going through. He's seen what the people have been dealing with, and enough is enough. I mean, look at what happened with President-elect Donald Trump and Judge Juan Merchan. Thankfully, he wasn't sentenced to any jail time, because I thought it was going to go one or two ways. You know, in November, President-elect Donald Trump would have been elected to be our next president, or President-elect Donald Trump would have been sentenced to some time. But there is a huge mandate for change. The people have spoken. Their concerns have been addressed. And look what happened. But check this video out.
Would your client like to be heard?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. This has been a very terrible experience. I think it's been a tremendous setback for New York and the New York court system. This is a case that Alvin Bragg did not want to bring. He thought it was, from what I read and from what I hear, inappropriately handled before he got there. A gentleman from a law firm came in and acted as a district attorney.
Listen to all of this stuff that is happening, and just think about it like this. Thankfully, President-elect Donald Trump didn't give up. He could have easily just walked away and just said, you know, enough's enough. I don't want to deal with this. I'm going to go here and go do else. But he didn't, because he understood what was taking place and what they were trying to do. At the end of the day, he understood what the people have been dealing with for quite some time. And it was time for some change. He listened to the people's concerns numerous of times. He spoke about it at rallies, throughout podcasts, throughout these interviews. He's seen what the people have been going through. You know, the things that have been happening to innocent people, stuff like that, shouldn't have happened whatsoever.
And that gentleman, from what I heard, was a criminal or almost criminal in what he did. It was very inappropriate. It was somebody involved with my political opponent. Part of the records that we're talking about, they're saying, I just noticed where he said I was falsifying business records. Well, the falsification of business records, as they said, was calling a legal expense in the books where everybody could see them, a legal expense. In other words, that legal fees or legal expense were put down as legal expense by accountants. They weren't put down by me. They were put down by accountants. I didn't call them construction, concrete work. I didn't call them electrical work. I didn't call them anything. They called a legal fee or a legal expense a legal expense. And for this, I got indicted. It's incredible, actually. Now, if you look, my attorney alluded to it, the top legal scholars and legal pundits in this country, the ones that are quoted all the time on television, that are making their views felt, and highly respected people, have said, everyone, virtually everyone that I know of, I haven't seen any to the contrary, not one. And none of these people are not exactly friends of mine, to put it mildly. But they all said...
Yes, a lot of people seen everything that was taking place numerous of times. They seen everything. You know, Alina Habba was speaking numerous of times of what was going on in the courtroom, what was being said, how this was being said, what was showed here, what was showed there. And just like as she was just explaining to everything to the people, they've been understanding, you know, what's been going on in the courtrooms and how transparent everything was. Because think about it like this. Me, in my opinion, I feel like if it was someone else, I feel like things may have been different. Because throughout 2024, you know, President-elect Donald Trump had to take time away from his campaigning to make sure that he was in court. But he still, after that, went out and explained to the people what was going on and how things were happening and addressing the people's concerns. He put his best foot forward, did not stop. He kept pushing through all of it. What does that show you?
A case that should have never been brought. It's an injustice of justice. Very respected Jonathan Turley, Andy McCarthy, Judge David Rifkin, a wonderful man who just passed away, by the way, Greg Jarrett, Ellie Honig from CNN, of all places. CNN said that, Paul Ingratian, Alan Dershowitz, they all said this is not a case that should be brought. It's not, think about it, legal expenses are down as legal expenses, and I get indicted for business records. Everybody should be so accurate. It's been a political witch hunt. It was done to damage my reputation so that I'd lose the election, and obviously that didn't work. And the people of our country.
Obviously that didn't work. Look at how things are going now and compare it to how things were going back then. Look at how many people are struggling right now. They're still trying their best to put food on the table, put clothes on their backs, fuel their vehicle up, pay their bills, keep a roof over their head for themselves and their families. People are tired of it. They want things to be affordable again. They want to be able to go to the grocery store and not feel like they got to pay 3 times the amount for things that they could have gotten cheaper back then. They don't want to feel that way at all. Enough's enough. People want to be ahead. They want to be able to support themselves and their families. They want to be able to save money for their paychecks. You know, right now people feel like everything went up except for their paychecks. They feel like they got to pay 2 to 3 times more for things. And this shouldn't be that way at all. Things should be affordable. We should be living comfortably. This is some of the reason why there was a huge mandate for change. And President-elect Donald Trump, he addressed the people's concerns. He listened to the people, and he told the people the things that he would do to fix it.
To see this firsthand because they watched the case in your courtroom. They got to see this firsthand, and then they voted, and I won and got the largest number of votes by far of any Republican candidate in history.
There we go.
And won, as you know, all 7 swing states.
Massive.
Won conclusively all 7 swing states. And won the popular vote by millions and millions of votes. And they've been watching your trial, so they understood it. I wasn't allowed to use the lawyer-client privilege or the reliance on counsel. I had a lawyer that made this deal, and he admitted that. And he was also a totally discredited person. We weren't allowed to use the information from the Southern District that totally discredited him. It wasn't allowed to be put in. And that was terrible, unbelievable. And this is a man who's got no standing. He's been disbarred on other matters, unrelated.
Let's just say they tried. They tried. But President-elect Donald Trump, he stuck it through. He pushed right through it. He didn't stop. You know, he spoke about it at his rallies. He said numerous of times the things that he would do to change the things that concern people right now. And look what happened in November. He listened to the people. He understood what the people's concerns were. You know, like things happening to innocent people, the cost of things. It's just time for some change. The people have had enough. Let me know what you guys think about today's video in the comment section. That'll be a wrap for today's video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.